Dr. Hughes here with a quick tutorial on how to approach this week's speech. At a minimal level, you're going to want to have a visual aid of your hashtag. And if you don't have the ability to do this with technology or programs on your computer, you could take a piece of cardstock and write the hashtag on it and hold it up during your speech where you discuss your exploration of the hashtag on popular social media sites. The hashtag could also be approached by taking images of your exploration and using those in a PowerPoint that you then narrate. You could record your speech using YouTube's Video Manager options. But what I chose to do is use QuickTime Player, which I have on my computer as part of the built-in operating system. And I open QuickTime and I click File, New Screen Recording. And that is what I've done to begin this video that you are watching now. So once I have the video going and I decide how I'm going to approach this, I'm going to want to explore different uses of my future professional hashtag on social media sites. And I've selected the term experiential learning because this is something that I am very interested in my own teaching explorations and course design. And I've decided to use this 4-H website from Rutgers to define experiential learning for you. So experiential learning, as they say here, is hands-on learning or learning by doing, whereas we traditionally think of students sitting in the classroom behind desk, looking at a teacher who's at the chalkboard, providing the information. Experiential learning is decentralized, and it means that students are often learning in the community or learning by doing or learning with multisensory approaches. So as by example, you in your professional image speech went out and interviewed a professional in your field, allowing you to practice your public speaking skills, but also learn from someone more senior in your planned future field. I also really like this use of experiential learning by this website, Edutopia, and they define it as hands-on learning and community participation. And I feel that also speaks well to the definition of this term. So when I search Google for experiential learning, I get 20,000 results, and that's just for the hashtag. And I am searching specifically for my hashtagged term. And it lays out for me what will become the points for my speech. So I would do all of this off camera beforehand and preload the tabs, as you can see here in my browser. And I would then work on writing a speech that reflected the information in those tabs. This allows me to bring up these tabs as I make each of my main points and use the hashtag that I've selected in the context of Twitter, for example, as supporting evidence for one of my main points about experiential learning in my speech. So as an example, if I was discussing experiential learning and how that hashtag is used most commonly on Twitter, I might feature these photographs of students at NASA, and they are learning by going to the Goddard Center instead of learning about space from a textbook. So they are having this multimedia experience in the center where they can see videos and models and images. I'm then going to look at the use of experiential learning on Facebook, and I was really drawn to this image of students in Jamaica that are visiting a zoo to learn about animals and biology. Again, this is something these kids will remember their entire life, and it allows them to really make a connection with the animals that are the inspiration for their studies in biology. I might use this again to talk about my second main point of how experiential learning is a learning style for people of all ages. I then turn to Instagram, which is always more visual in its use of these hashtags. But I'm really drawn in this one to this image of a researcher who is conducting research and learning while he is in the lab. I might even go and explore his site undergrad in the lab and use his example as a full supporting example for this point in my speech. Finally, I've preloaded the Pinterest tab, and in doing this and searching for experiential learning, I uncovered this infographic, which I really enjoy because it lets you frame experiential learning in the context of more traditional models. So that is the nuts and bolts of how you would do a walkthrough for your speech. Of course, you will be writing a speech with main points and using these different tabs you've preloaded as supporting evidence and visual aids to illustrate the points you're making verbally in your speech about the term. If you have any questions, please send them to me, and I look forward to this week's speech.